Hello, hello. How's everybody doing out there? Talking Shit Tuesday, coming at you every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we talk shit about car stuff. Let's just keep it nice and simple. Today, we're going to talk about a bunch of things that we can talk about. We can take it whichever direction you guys want, really. The final episode of the Coyote versus LT thing aired, and the Coyote won. But when you look at the episode, which is, I think, episode 6, that aired 2 days ago, I'm not going to give that win to the motor. You know what I mean? I'm going to give that win to the people tuning it and the people at the track that day. It wasn't necessarily a Coyote versus LT thing. It was like a team versus team thing. And I think the team that had the Coyote just had better luck, more adjustments. Maybe they made the right calls at the right time. So I'm not really going to say, well, the Coyote dominated that race. I'm just going to say that the team that was on the Coyote had a better team that day. But the LT was running extremely well. And both trucks are gorgeous. Both trucks are badass. And I think it's a good episode to watch because, you know, it's a pretty interesting stuff that they got going on there. And it kind of cements the Coyote as a legitimate, and we've already known on this channel, the Coyote has been legitimate, Billy Badass motor. Let's go. Let's get after it. Now other people are going to have to start to believe it because, you know, all things being equal, teams that are, you know, competent, if the team is competent and knows what they're doing, they can make damn near anything go down the track fast. But the Coyote is just one of those latest and greatest engines that people are warming up to the point where they're bored of it already. And now they're looking at stock Nissan V8s as the next big thing. And they're touting numbers that the Coyote already did. But you know what? Let them have their party. I'm not going to rain on their parade. Also, Ford lost money in the fourth quarter. Big surprise, mostly due to the EV write-off that they had to kind of like say, hey, yeah, remember that EV shit we're talking about? We're going to just go ahead and like leave that shit alone. And now they're promising 2026 is going to be a great year. They're banking on this like tiny electric truck that they're going to try to sell to you for $30,000. I still don't think people will buy it because what are you getting for $30,000? Are you getting a shitty electric truck? Might as well just buy a used truck for 25 or 15. Or like one of our guys did, a Gen 2 for like 17 and goes 10s with a turbo kit. Or if you just need a truck for the sake of doing truck things, why would you buy Ford's brand new electric truck? Weird stuff. We'll talk about that and many more things, but not before Mr. Bill O'Reilly tells us to do it live.
Okay. We'll do it live. Okay. Well, no.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
It does suck. But you know what does not suck? The sponsor of the show. That's right, DNAP Performance, DNAPperformance.com. You're going to get your Go Fast goodies there. All your brand new parts, whether it's the fuel system, whether it's injectors, wheels, tires, anything and everything, you're going to get at DNAHighPerformance.com. Belgian Wheels. That's right, Belgian Wheels still sponsoring the show. I got a set of their VF5 Lightweight Series on Section 8. They're doing great. They're awesome. I drove the car all weekend. Phenomenal. Love that thing. Check them out for your F-150s also and S550s. They got a bunch of great selection of wheels. Check them out. BelgianWheels.com or Belgian.com. One of those two. PMAS, Dick James, the best cold air intakes, period. We did a giveaway. That's right. On Patreon, we did 2 giveaways and we gave away a cold air intake. Thank you, Nick James, for doing that. And we also gave away a catch can from UPR. And we appreciate you guys for doing that. Don't Make Out Cookies, Don'tMakeOutCookies.com. They got some cookies coming my way. And I'm just like, hell yeah, let's get some cookies coming. So check them out if you want some sex-named cookies. That's right, sex-named cookies. Don'tMakeOutCookies.com. Parts Farm, PartsFarm.com. They got GT500 up the ass now. They got a couple of crank a pallet situations. They got a bunch of 13 or 14 GT500 parts. So if you want to get a set of quad tips and balances, it's there. Hit them up, and they're going to go fast because I see people asking about them on the forum. Auto Solution, Rami Zaran, Auto Solution. We're finishing up a Pro Charge. I can't believe the crank is still in it. Mustang, but he is still heavy in the F-150 game. Love to see the F-150 getting traction in Puerto Rico and Bellac. Bellac Industries, BellacIndustries.com, Bellac Industries. That's right. If you like looking like a drug dealer and make me want to get pulled over in case, you know, the cops want to see what's going on with your ship, Get a set of Bellac wheels. If you do only rears, we know you're poor as shit, and you know, but you still might get pulled over by the cops. richprince.com/YDBT if you want to get some merchandise to support the show. YDBT hats, Amory hats, YDBT and Amory trucker style hats, Dolo fitted, Shiesties, Section 8 shirts and hoodies, Hush Money shirts and hoodies, ZR50 shirts and hoodies, Booty Juice shirts and hoodies, Elote Juice shirts and hoodies. Amory, again, I got judged for this. I was wearing this on a dating site, and she's like, I don't like guys that are in the army. I'm like, I'm not in the army, bitch. I'm in the Armory. Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, GT350, S650, 85 to 86, 87 to 93, save the manual shirts, 1320 videos, fuck 1320, YDBT and Armory, vertical, and all the goodies, and also the stickers and shit that you, oh, what the hell did I just click? Stickers and all that goodies. But again, back on the giveaway stuff, on Patreon, there is a giveaway chat. That chat is dedicated for giveaways. And I just randomly picked, I think the guy's name was Ricky or something like that. What the fuck's his name? Let me see. Nick. The guy's name was Nick, and we ended up giving away a UPR plug-and-play F-150 style cat scan. Where is Nick? Nick Perry. Where did I find Nick? Did I give it away to the wrong dude? Quentin Bailey, UPR, Christopher. You know, I thought I was going to give it to that guy, but I got to see who the fuck I gave it to, because I could have sworn I gave it to Nick Perry, but I might have given him the wrong shit. Oh man, I gotta hit up Nick Perry. Do you have a Whipple F-150? I hope you do, because if you don't, I just gave away the catch can to the wrong person. But join Patreon and you get shit. Plain and simple. You get shit free. And here we give away merchandise today. We're going to give away something from richprince.com/YDBT, and we're going to do Star Trek trivia. So there you go. Wow. Finally got that out of the way. 6 minutes. That's a record. So let's say hi to the people, and we'll get after it. Nick Notch, Money for 40, B. Levesh, G3, Camzilla, Zalto Entertainment, Frank Donahue, Phil Fez, Big Pop, Beatside, D-Rock, Fox, Paul P, 1 of 1 Archer, Alfredo Diaz of John Bonanno, Mustang Dennis, semi-retired street racer, Alfredo Diaz, Christopher Dixon, Tony the Truck Guy, Slick, Clint Stroke, Naldo, Nathan Roberts, Bryson Witt a couple of times. Bryson Witt, Magnuson wants to hit you up. Look at how that works. Magnuson wants to hit you up so that you can provide high-resolution pictures of your blower. You see how it works? Really nice. Matt Francis a couple of times. The Wolf Destroyer, RoboStyle, Mortal Acura, Lemonade, J Switch, Dreadnought, Crowd Killer, Nardi Mercado, 50 Stallion, EPA Amory, Devin Broke Garage, Bill Coyote, Michael Lux, Extra Culex, Matt Oliver, 956, Oscar Blink, 182 fan. Is that the girl again? Yeah, that's because I'm a Blink 182 fan. I'm like, and she's cute according to her photo, but she ain't gonna give up the poom poom because you know how it is with women. Gen 1 Coyote a la CV, whatever that means. Clean out of 3GT, the other Evan Smith, Chris Schlaw. What the fuck? That name is so retarded. Jay Walker in the house, Dustin Garrison, Six Hills Busted, Villaggio, Rever Racing, Zion, Savior, My AC is Barking, Victor Chardon, Dante LX, Phil Fez, and all the usual suspects. We are almost up to 900 people on Patreon, and like 310 paid. 600 people only have access to the peasant chat. No, Bryson Witt. They're supposed to reach out to you directly. So go on your Instagram and make sure that they didn't hit you up and it's in your requests folder. Make sure that you answer your emails or your Instagram messages there. So if you guys didn't know, the C10 drag race competition, where one of them has a Coyote and a whole team of guys fuck with it, and another C10 that has an LT in it, they actually did their race. And this is probably one of the better runs of them all, and I wanted to show you that. Initially, they had issues hooking. They went back, did some bar angle changes. This is a Holly-tuned truck with a FFRE motor in it. And again, I have no dog in this fight. I shouldn't even be mentioning this because I'm not getting paid. But at the end of the day, I think it's cool that there's a Coyote out there competing in a, in an area where people are now going, this is so fucking legit. Like, you can't say but. It's a player. It's one of the big dogs. It's right up there with some of the most badass motors out there. So I thought it was cool to show this run because it shows how just dialed in this team got this truck. Yeah, so in case you guys didn't know, that's probably close to a 7-second quarter mile time. It's probably low 8, but it's probably damn close. If it was geared properly and they were able to get a low 5 in the 8th and geared for the quarter, this thing is a 7-second truck all day. So extremely badass. The LT truck though had an issue where it hit the wall. And they ended up fixing the issue, and but it was a badass truck. It was launching great, running great. No issues generally, but unfortunately had a bit of an accident on one of the runs. Check it out.
Dave has a killer launch, and the LT power is starting to pour in. When disaster strikes.
So after that, they couldn't really launch any better. Then they had boost control issues, but the truck averaged, damn near. It ended up averaging, I don't know. Let me see. It ended up averaging. Can you just show it? It ended up averaging It was 1/10 slower, like 526 average versus a 519 average or something like that. But it was real cool to see. The teams are really close. There we go. The average was 521 for the LT power truck, and the average was 515 for the Coyote power truck. Again, this is super close. So I'm not really going to sit there and rah the Coyote, but I think the teams did an amazing job. Both great job, great representation of their skills, and it was really nice to see. Like it was like extremely nice to see. So it was a good time. I actually genuinely enjoyed watching that video, where normally I'd be like, this is gay, this is stupid. But yeah, I think they did a really good job and represented their camps well. Also, let's talk about Ford. We're going to run through this quickly. Ford's quarterly earnings misses forecast. CEO sees stronger year in 2026. Yeah, of course. We'll get them next year. Detroit, Ford Motor quarterly core profit fell about 50% to $1 billion as it absorbed higher than expected costs from a fire at an aluminum supplier. But CEO Jim Farley predicted strong performance this year as automaker slashes costs and works to produce globally competitive models. Basically, they're blaming the fact that they have to buy aluminum elsewhere, and then that aluminum is being taxed via tariffs. So they're putting the blame sort of kind of on that fire, but it also messed up a lot with EV programs. Ford reported a fourth quarter net loss of $11.1 billion following substantial previously disclosed write-downs on its EV programs. Adjusted earnings per share of 13 cents for the quarter missed analyst forecasts of 19 cents per share. Long story short, even if Ford has short-term good news, it has long-term bad news. And that's my assessment of the situation. If their EV push did not do well, stop. But the problem is this: they're looking at a global, as a global capacity. They're going to move forward with EV stuff. They're just going to say, we're going to give you cheaper EV vehicles, little tiny zip around town EV trucks. At the end of the day, I don't think people are going to buy that if people like Hyundai, Kia, and all those others can make a similar product. And people are just going to go, why would I buy a cheap Ford? Why not just buy a cheaper Hyundai, a cheaper Toyota, or a cheaper anything? Because Ford's reputation has not been good. And again, this is going to be a brand new platform. So I'm sure that's going to perform phenomenally well. Like I'm sure a brand new platform that's never been tested before, and an EV truck for $30,000, it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be no issue. Finally, I want to talk about firing askholes. In the last month or so, I've seen people, because they're ramping up for race season, right? A lot of people put their cars away when it comes to wintertime. And then when they come out, they had problems that they didn't have when they stored them. So then we're missing a big part of the story. And this is a very common thing. I'm not one or two people out. This is a very common thing that happens with tuning. You try to work with the customer to answer all their questions. And sometimes they're askholes, right? They just ask and ask and ask, and they don't do anything. But most of the time, after the tune is done and the car's made good power, they start trying to say, well, what about this? What about that? What about this? And, I always ask you the same question. What are you doing with the car? What is the goal with the car? What is the reason this car is being built? I think a lot of people build cars because... done, period. It's not because I want to go racing professionally, because I want to hit 1,000 horsepower, it's because they're bored and they think they should do that. Maybe all of their friends have fast cars, so they're like, well, I just want to have a high horsepower car. So then when they start leaning on you for advice and you start telling them things they don't want to hear, a lot of people ask questions, and when you don't affirm what they want to hear, same as Googling an answer, right? If you are Googling an answer, you're going to keep looking for web pages that affirm what you're saying so that you can then use it in an argument somewhere. Oh, look, this web page told me I'm right. Yeah, but these 80 other web pages said you're wrong. But Usually they ask us questions like, what do you think about this part? I don't think it's good. Why not? Because all of our tests, all of our tuning, all of the data that we have tells us it's not a good part to buy. So what happens? They go away. Now you don't hear from them for a couple of months. And then they come back and they're like, hey, my car's running like shit. And I go, luckily, all I have to do is scroll back and I go, oh, look at that. It wasn't running like shit January. It wasn't running like shit in December. It wasn't running like shit in November. Matter of fact, when I gave you the go ahead and you're done, it wasn't running like shit before you said you put it away. So then they're like, well, I just, it's stumbling. And I'm like, okay. Tell me what happened between the time that you put it away in the garage and it was running great versus now. And this is usually the answer. The parts you told me not to buy, I bought them anyway and got it tuned elsewhere. Ah, gotcha. So you went against my recommendations, went elsewhere, got tuned elsewhere. Now the car runs like shit. And you need me to be Captain Save-A-Ho. So I'm going to give you guys an example and you tell me what you would do. Okay? Maybe I should bring up the building example or should I bring up a doctor example? Let's talk about a building example because I think that's more along the lines of what we're trying to do. Let's say you're a expert deck builder and you built a guy a deck and it looks fantastic. He's happy. Everything is great. Then he wants to add on to the deck. He wants to add on to the deck to make it more functional for him. And you ask him, what do you think about installing this? And then you don't recommend it because it doesn't fit the structural layout of the current deck. It's not going to work. I can't extend it that way. It's not for code. Based on what I've done, this should not be extended. That shouldn't be added to the deck. And that's just how it's going to be because I have to back my work. Yeah, but I would really love, to extend it more without going through the process of, getting permits because then I don't want to have to. I get it. I get what you're trying to say, sir, but I am not recommending that. I recommend you don't do that because it's going to ruin what you already have. Okay, fine. Then you don't hear nothing for a couple of months and then he hits you up and he goes, hey, he starts asking you technical questions. Is there a certain amount of space that should be between the boards? Something that has to do with decks. I don't know. And then you start asking more questions. What do you mean? Why are you asking that? Well, I had another company come out and put what I wanted, and it kind of ruined the functionality of the deck you built. So I'm wondering if we can fix it. So as that person, I could do a couple of things. Right. There you go. There you go. Thank you. Because I don't know anything about that kind of stuff. I would probably want this person out of my life. Right? Personally. Not professionally. Personally. Alejandro Flores. I don't need you in my life. You're a liability. Because you're going to take something that we built together with my recommendations. And then you're going to have someone else fiddling with something we worked out and we've worked out and we're both happy. I'm happy, you're happy. But now you want to add something I don't recommend to your deck. And then you do it anyway. And then when it's ruined and it ruined the main deck you and I agreed to and both were happy with how it came out, you want me to save you by repairing it in such a way that you still get what you wanted, but it's beyond my recommendation. It's beyond what I wanted you to do. So without being super specific, customers do that all the time with tuning, especially with camshafts. I am blown away that people are fascinated with cams on an 800 horsepower setup. I am just like, add more fucking boost, dude. Buy the pulley. And then they're like, but I want it to be more efficient. So efficient. What is your goal, sir? 1,000 horse. Pulley down. Add more boost. Well, I don't want to add more boost. I want to just lessen cylinder pressure. So, okay, cool. I don't recommend you do cams unless you do these cams. Well, I don't want to do those cams. I heard this guy has. I heard that guy has. I want to port my cylinder heads. I don't recommend that. I recommend you do this and you do this. I don't like your recommendation, Alex. I want to do it the way I want to do it, and you still have to tune it. That's a hard no. Eventually, you have to give up on people like that. And you got to give them the proper way of dumping them is explaining your position, understanding that you are not listening. You are incapable of listening. So it's not worth it to me to have constant back and forth with you if after all it's said and done, the car's running great based on our recommendations, and now you want to ruin it with parts we know don't work. I'm sorry, we're going to have to just let you go. So that's one of the hardest things to do in tuning, because now the customer is going to pay tuition. He is going to go to this tuner and get fucked, that tuner and get fucked, this tuner and get ghosted. Some tuners say yes to everything. Yeah, what do you want to do? I want to get cams ported. I want to get weird throttle bodies and weird intakes. And you're like, the tuner goes, yeah, bro, we'll tune it. Then he's done tuning it and it runs like shit. It surges. It backfires. And you're like, what the fuck did I just do? I chose a tuner that said yes to everything I said I want to put in. He said yes, and now it's shit. But the guy that fought me a little bit, because the recommendations he gave me are certain, and he said no to the parts that I wanted to install, it was running great here. So a lot of these guys pay tuition that way. They either switch platforms because they just don't want to go back because they're too full of pride, or they don't want to go back and say, I fucked up. I'm going to return the car back to the way it was recommended, and I'm going to upload that tune and just live a happy life. But some people just can't stop fucking with shit, and they need to fiddle and fiddle and fiddle and fiddle. And then I ask, what do you want to do with the car? Well, nothing. I just want to make more power. Pulley down or add boost. What about cams? So you want to pay $3,000 for cams and $1,500 for install for what? 40 horse? Instead of just buying 2 pulley sizes lower or 3 more pounds of boost? It's a very weird thing to do where you get someone that's like in the matrix enough to understand there's a matrix, but not know that he is being manipulated by the matrix. He's gone on Facebook. He's gone on Instagram. If you go on TikTok and get any advice from anyone in the car space on TikTok, you have already lost. Nobody on TikTok knows anything. Sorry. Every single fucking homo on TikTok is just clout chasing. 1, there is no money to be made on TikTok. 2, it's not a learning platform. It's set up algorithmically just to get clicks and likes, and cars blow up in flames. What do you get on TikTok? Flame tunes, crackle tunes, gay grudge races, stupid rappers, rap music on top of this, and this guy it's just clickbaity bullshit. You're not going to learn anything from guys on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok watching guys and trying to emulate them, you've already lost. If you're working with a tuner that has given you great service, regardless whether it's us or not, and you go against his recommendations and he dumps you, don't be surprised. Don't be surprised, because I think certain customers need to learn the hard way that we're looking out for the best interest of your car. And most of the biggest detriment to a build is usually the customer. My job is to make sure the car's okay. If you are making the car not okay, you gotta go. All right, there we go. We can talk about a bunch of shit. We had everything laid out, talked for 23 minutes about a little bit of everything. So what do you think? Are you impressed by the C10 with the Coyote? Do you think Ford deserves to go to shit by losing $11 billion in the fourth quarter? And do you think askholes should get fired? This is not Burger King. What's up, Amory says non-standard response. Checking in on the way home, grab dinner and catch a replay tomorrow. Thank you so much. Crunchy Cracker says, I might just be really young, but does Ford understand that all they have to do is make an all-wheel drive mid-engine car that will have increase in sales? See, Crunchy Crackers, they don't care about that, because the vast majority of people all want a vehicle that does everything. Ford is not going to move the needle if they sell more Mustangs. Ford is going to move the needle if they sell more Explorers. Ford is going to move the needle if they sell more F-150s. Ford is going to move the needle if they sell more Edges, if they even make Edges anymore. Whatever Flex, whatever medium vehicle between nothing and an Explorer. an Expedition or an F-150, that moves the needle. Mustangs are Costco pizza. You need to understand Mustangs for Ford are Costco pizza. That's why they're jacking up the price. People are like, oh, it's inflation. Shut the fuck up about inflation. They literally jacked up the price for the same vehicle. Arguably worse performing. Arguably. So what you're getting for the price isn't great. But Ford doesn't give a fuck because it's Costco pizza. What does that mean? Costco doesn't make money on pizza. You think Costco is like, we really got to sell 10,000 pizzas at $2 a slice to make money? No. Costco says, we're willing to lose money on the pizza to get people in here for the pizza so that they could buy an $1,100 4K television. That's the whole reason it exists. So if a man goes to a dealership to buy a Mustang, Costco pizza, the wife goes, honey, what about that Expedition over there? I'll let you get the Mustang if you let me get the Expedition. And the man now buys two vehicles. That's how it works. Yeah. And that's the other thing with TikTok. You're being manipulated to watch absolute garbage on TikTok. I'm so proud that I'm not on TikTok. Someone put up one of my accounts or he made an account with my face on it, but I'm not on TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I don't run a TikTok account. If I end up on TikTok, somebody else is handling that, not me. People are stuck on old hot rodding mentality. You don't need to touch anything constantly. Bolt parts on once and go. Tinkeritis. Lee, your car made good power? Dude, it made 1,000. So what the fuck's the problem? Well, I want to make 1,025. You're kidding me right now, right? You're kidding me right now. Like, Donnie is one of those guys, but not to that extent. Donnie's one of those guys that needs to be reminded every day, stay off of the go pedal until you need it. Do not go wide open throttle on your way to work. Just drive it. And then on the way back, just drive it, right? And then if you come across a Raptor R, a Ford Lightning, or a Camaro, and you want to race him, then you have the go-ahead to go wide open throttle. But if you wake up in the morning and go to work and you're just like, look at this nice long straightaway. Oh, it's 43 degrees outside. Let's go wide open throttle and see how that goes. Oh, look, extra air, stock fuel system, 1,000 cc injector, pump gas in the tank. A recipe for disaster. Stay off the gas, right? Stay off the gas. People that have tinkeritis are like, well, I made 1,000. What would it take to make 1,020? Bro, stop it. Stop it. Holy shit. I do not understand the tire selection for the C10 Race. It appears to be an ET Street SS or 555 R2s, which is probably why they had difficulty hooking. It had to be street legal and do a 100-mile drive. It had to be legal, and it had to do a 100-mile drive, Phil Fez. It wasn't an all balls to the wall. It was like a drag and drive competition thing. It has to have street manners. They had to drive it 100 miles. Then they had to go to the track and run the number, which is like true street, which I think is fine. And the fact that they went 5-1 on an ET Street SS, I think is pretty badass. It's exactly J Swish. A lot of people are like, oh, it's inflation. No. Ford said, you know what? We're not making money on the Mustang. It was an anomaly that we had 100,000 Mustangs sell in 2015. And before that, we were in the 50 to 60 range. So we can absolutely live with 50,000 Mustang sales a year at a $55,000 average price, because we don't make or break our company on Mustang. So all this shit, all the other people say does not matter. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about what we actually want. They went out and made a $300,000 Mustang that is slower than the $200,000 ZR1. I repeat, Ford went out there and made a $300,000 Mustang that is slower everywhere than a ZR1 that is made in Bowling Green, Kentucky. So they don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about the common man. They don't give a fuck about what the Mustang was intended to be, an affordable, fast pony car for the regular Joe. It is now high-end shit because it is priced in there with BMW crap. We need more C-Max and less Eco-Splat. C10 intake was through the hood. Is that a cooling strategy just to make it tall enough to catch air? No. If Ford did all-wheel drive Ford or Mustang, most likely be too expensive for most people with families, just justified over Expedition or SUV or whatever. The Ford or Mustang is the F-150. Once the F-150 was basically found out to perform phenomenal with 10 pounds of boost, Ford was like, we don't have to make an all-wheel drive Mustang. Just buy an F-150, right? That's their thought process. Why would we make anything that competes with itself? Why would I make an all-wheel drive Coyote-powered vehicle at 4,000 pounds? You have a RCSB right there. And you know what? They're not wrong. If you look at it from that point of view, but that happened by chance. That was a mistake. You really think Ford was out there intending on work trucks, bare bones, pared down RCSB, regular cab, short bed, pickup trucks with four-wheel drive and a Coyote to become race trucks? No, the Mexicans did that. Houston did that. Texas did that. They said, hey, we're going to make these fast because they're all-wheel drive and they have the same motor as a Mustang in them, a Coyote. And they're twin-turbo built transmissions away from being fucking fast. So then Ford saw, oh, wait a minute. They solved the problem for us. We don't have to make an all-wheel drive Mustang. Just buy a regular cab short bed truck, or if you want an everything vehicle, you buy a quad, a crew cab, a super crew with a 6-foot bed, and you can have a daily driver that tows the boat, brings a family to Target, church, and you can go racing and go low 11s. They're not wrong. The most configurable, the most versatile vehicle that Ford makes is the F-150. And it's a supercharger or turbo kit away from being a damn near race car. Is it wrong to think them raising the price of Mustangs is a good thing so only people with money can get them and not a bunch of teenagers? Well, he said easy now. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. Remember when you had the fucking, the 14? Remember the shit you asked about on the 14 all the time? He wanted that car to do 6.2 downshifts. Think about that, guys. He was complaining that when he's cruising on the highway at 55 or 60 in 6th gear, that when he would stab it, that it wouldn't fly down to 2nd gear. And I'm like, but that's what he wanted. We tried to make it happen. Ended up being some hard-coded shit that needed to be changed. We didn't figure it out back then. Now we can do that. But it's like nobody asks for that. He wants to be in drive, cruising at 55, and then floor it. And the car just goes to 2nd, which is like 6,000 RPMs, then shifts at 8,200. And I'm like, the transmission will explode. It's experiencing things that are probably not going to make it happy. But, now he's got this F-150 and I'm like, stay off of the go pedal. Stay off of it, stay off of it, stay off of it. When you are going to race somebody, then get on it, plain and simple. Back to the question, do you think Ford is making the price high to keep teenagers out of it? If that is a byproduct of Mustang, I'm happy about it. Because when Coyotes came out, they were $32,000 to $35,000 in 2011. Like 28 to 35 was like the range of a GT. So what did teenagers have back in the day? A fucking 2-valve. Because that's what they could afford. So I was extremely happy when I got into a Coyote car because I could afford a Coyote car at 35 years old. Whereas someone that was 22 was stuck with a 2-valve. And that's how it should be. Let's be honest. That's how it should be. You should work your way up to premiumly priced vehicles. But the problem is the lending strategy of these banks are like, give it to anyone that has a heartbeat. Hello, sir. What are you doing? What would you like to buy? I'd like to buy that G80 outside. Great. You have a heartbeat? Beep, beep, beep. Yep. You have anything above a 200 credit score? Yep. And do you have anything down? $1,000. Sold. It's yours. They did that with Hellcats. They do that with Altimas currently to the black population. Let's be honest. They'll give you an 8-year loan on a Sentra or an Altima at 22%, and your Altima ends up being like 80. No one, they never finish paying it. They never finish paying it off. It gets repoed every time. Want more power, more boost? As long as you have the support for the power, supplemental components. Ford does make a good truck. Ford sales do not move at all if Mustang sells well. Meaning it doesn't move the needle. It's the 250, the 350, the fleet vehicles, the 150, the mom and pop vehicles, the crossovers, that moves the needle. Mustang doesn't move the needle, so they're like, fuck it. $55,000 for a GT that's premium, good shit, variable, adjustable exhaust and good wheels and Brembos and shit. And if kids can't afford it, fuck them. If you want to afford it, go get an RCSP and shut the fuck up. Sebastian Delgado says, that's very true, Alex. Shops don't even specialize in Coyotes, are building twin turbo F-150s like them. Right. You don't even specialize in it, and you are now offering it because everyone and anyone can just bolt it together. And all of a sudden, everyone's a fucking tuner now, which is fine. I'm okay with that because eventually they all come back to Lund Racing. Lund Racing doesn't advertise for a reason. There's a reason you don't see John Lund Jr. is like, hey, what's good? Hey guys, what's going on? So this is John, and you don't see him. What's up, guys? Hit us up at What's up, guys? Hit us up at LundRacing.com if you want to like. When you hear that shit, they need sales. People just go to Lund because they're like, bro, they got the fastest shit, they got the best shit. They reply within minutes. I'm good, right? But when what's up, man? Check out this truck that we built. And then you're like, I've never heard of you in the Mustang or truck space. Why would I go to you? Well, I used to fuck with other cars. Cool. Until you have a resume for years of building, supporting, and refining a platform. Then I might think I'm not going to go to a Mustang shop that just started fucking with GTRs. Right? Do you imagine I want a GTR, right? I want an R35, whatever the fuck. And some shop that always fucked with Mustangs all of a sudden started fucking with GTRs. You think I'm going to go to that shop? Hell no. You didn't go through the growing pains of people that fuck with GTRs heavy. You didn't go through the growing pains. You didn't break certain parts. You didn't develop anything. You're just doing what I can do. You're bolting other people's parts onto your shit. So why the fuck would I send it to you? If I can bolt the parts onto the shit, I can build my own F-150. I'd be like, Jake, the best transmission man on the planet. I know you hate 10R80s, Jake. Here, let's put a transmission in this thing that's going to be badass. And he's going to go, it's not a 10R80. I go, right. And we will engineer something. If I fund it, we will engineer something that is going to be badass. We will vet it. We will make sure it lasts a long time. We will make sure there are no issues. And then, boom, it gets introduced to the wild. But a shop that can bolt shit on, you're going to buy it from them? A shop that can bolt already... Why? You're basically paying another shop to bolt on parts for you. And then what's the support like, right? Hey, the truck that you built sucks. Well, maybe it's your problem. No, dick face. I bought it from you. You were pushing this product. You were pushing this package. So now this package is not performing like I think it should. Fix it. They can't. They don't have the background in it if they got into it. If they're Johnny come lately, they're just trying to cash grab that customer. So if I'm going to fuck with GTR heavy stuff, I'm going to find the best GTR shop. If I'm going to fuck with Honda shit, I'm going to fuck with the best Honda shop. I'm not going to buy a platform that a shop just got into and fuck with it heavy. No way. Yeah, that I think it could be a thing, but I'm doing the vetting on that. And again, there is no rush for that. There are so many C6s out there. The longer that takes, the better. I broke the bearing flange on the stock diff on a watt downshift being an idiot. You broke the motor. Leaving target. See what I mean? Yep, I'm leaving target on pump gas. Why? Why did you floor it leaving target? Crazy. Ford Transits, those move the needle. I got 3. Ford Transits? Yeah. Sales. Dude, the Ford Transit remains America's best-selling commercial van with 138,000 units sold. You see what I mean about Mustangs? Mustangs don't fucking matter to Ford. This is what matters to Ford. 138,000 units sold in 2024. Quarter 3 2025 saw 42,000 in sales. Brother, do you see what I mean? The Mustang, they don't give a fuck about a Mustang. They sold 130,000 of these. The Mustang is Costco pizza. They don't give a fuck if it sells or not. They just get people in the door with a shiny, pretty thing in the lot. Because if you had Ford Transits in the front, No one's going to stop into that dealership. But if you have blue, red, orange, Mystic, green, yellow Mustangs out front, Costco Pizza. Where's the Costco Pizza located, guys? Tell me where the Costco Pizza stand is located in Costco. Is it in the back? When you enter a Costco, where's the pizza? Where's the hot dog joint? Where's everything? In the front. The moment you come into Costco and some dumbass checks your card that you can come in there, there it is. There's the fucking pizza. There's the joint right there. It's not all the way in the back by the furniture. It's in the front. The Mustangs are in the front. So when you come in, you go, whoa, look at these Mustangs. And then when you skip the line of Mustangs, F-150, F-250, Transit, stupid crossover, gay electric car. Those are the ones that sell. I don't only bolt on parts, customers' cars, I destroy them as well. Wow. I have a Gen 1 F-150 stock daily driver, hauling and spirited driving, taking great care of it, and not a single check engine light in 180,000 miles. Zero issues, never selling. Six Hill says, I'm 23 and I've had my 11 V6 since senior year and will probably get rid of it soon to save money for a while and move up my career. What a practical fan base I have here. Them selling to a younger crowd just helps the guys with credit get a deal though. Yeah, whatever. Ford is a truck company that just so happens to sell sports cars. Congrats to Lund getting Steed into the nines. I'm loving this. There's no competition there. Get the fuck out of here, Playboy. Get your head out of your ass with that stupid ass comment. You think we're in competition? We don't give a fuck what anyone else does. We don't care. We literally don't care what anyone else does. Buy 3, get the 4th one for the same price. Craig Wall's here. I didn't see Craig Wall say hello. I'm gonna see if he said hello. Michael, Rigo, Coyote Collector, entry-level Kias get repoed like Altimas. Got it. Garage Build says to retro Broncos, Spider, whatever the fuck, lifted trucks, RTR Mustangs, F-250 Tremors is what attracts people. When you go to a Ford dealership, what's in the front? Whatever's in the front is the least, it's the least amount of shit they sell. But it's the flashiest shit. Big, dumb, stupid Bronco. Nothing says I have no fucking dick than buying an EcoBoost Bronco. An EcoBoost Bronco? Why don't you just buy a Jeep? Oh, because it's Ford. Okay, so it's a lesser quality part. Broncos are new. Ford doesn't make anything new good. It takes them years to refine it. So I don't know what the deal is about buying a highly lifted, highly modified, wide wheel, 2-point or 3-point something EcoBoost Bronco. So goofy. So weird. It's a girl car, in my opinion, just like a Jeep is. What's good, Craig Walls? He says something to Craig Walls. I don't see Craig Walls. Did he get rid of me? Oh, checking in late. Gotcha. Tall Starlight says, Alejandro, have you seen the Ondi? I have 2 5.0 RCSBs, an 18 and a 12. The 12.6 already shifts way better and crisper and doesn't hunt for gears like the 10R. My 6R80 has 180,000 miles and not one issue. And I bet a lot of you that heard me say, if you really want to get serious, especially on the Street Alpha podcast, I guarantee people are like, bro, this guy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Doesn't he see what Midnight does? And I'm like, I see what Midnight does. We tune their shit. I am telling you, the 6R80 is anything with a 6R80, if you want to retain the factory transmission, is going to last longer. And at big power is going to be a better situation for you. The 10R80 is not built for power. The 10R80 complete infrastructure, the way it was designed, was not for power. It just wasn't. It was made for fuel economy. Okay, look at the clutches. Look at the diameter of the clutches. Look at how many clutches. It was designed to be like a CVT. Whee! Except it had gears. Stays in the power band. If the car doesn't climb the hill, gets better miles per gallon. Did you notice how on a stock car, this skips shifts? Right? Why does it need to skip shifts? For fuel economy. So, in stock form, a 10R80 vehicle with Ford's factory tune skips gears. It goes 1, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Why would it do that? For fuel economy. So you dumb motherfuckers are like, well, I see this guy with a 10R80 and 10R80 La Luz. Cool, 10R80 La Luz. And then you put a 650 horsepower situation on it. You go wide open throttle once. You go on the return road, and it doesn't know where to go. What the fuck was that? That's the 10R80 deciding what gear should I go on after it did a wide open throttle hit. If you get a 6R80 and you do a hit, come to a stop, again and again and again and again. Max Anthony had like 60 runs, 6-0, over 800 real horsepower, bone stock transmit. I'm telling you, not an intermediate shaft, not a billet one way, not a forward planet, not an upgrade clutch, not an upgraded drum, not an upgraded pump. And that bitch was like boo, 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 but it would shift because it was making damn near 900 real horsepower on a stock 130,000 mile motor. Find me a 10-speed truck with a Gen 3 motor in it that can do that. Not even close. Dracula says, my little brother ordered SC50 Performance Pack because the dealer pumped his tires up big time, roped him into it. I'm getting a Bronco only for my wife. I don't drive it. I just fix them at Ford. Rocky Ridge packages around here. Yeah. Like, this is wild. Why would you buy that? Whoa, what the fuck said web error? Interesting. Why would you buy this in Florida? Florida's flat. Why the hell you're buying this? And look at the price, $91,060. You look like a goofy in this thing. You look so fucking stupid, especially in Florida. And they're always clean. They're never dirty. Alex, you're just jealous. I'm jealous. I'm jealous of an EcoBoost 90,000 mile truck. Boy, are you fucking stupid. When I see someone in this, I laugh my fucking ass off. I go, what'd you buy? $91,000 Rocky Ridge package bullshit in Florida? In Wellington? In Boca? In Miami? What do you got to run over? The illegals that are doing the landscaping? Fuck out of here. My turn is La Luz. Up to 7th gear. Then it's La Shit. He's very good. You can hear the difference when the 6R80 shifts solid, not flaring the way it threw gears. The puny ass clutches were probably to make room for all the gears it does not need. I found a wrecked Gen 2 F-150 at Copart the other day for 407,000 miles on the clock. I know that they have recalls now, but I'm telling you, that recall to me is bogus. Because I've never heard of someone with a Gen 2 F-150 driving on the highway and it just goes into first. Like it's never happened as far as I can tell. The catch can from the giveaway is vent atmosphere both sides. I want to pick one up for my daily Whipple truck. Yeah, it's like Donnie's. So go look at Donnie's videos. It's exactly like Donnie's. Do trans coolers make any difference in 10R80 behavior? Not the behavior, the longevity. The behavior is a ghost in the machine. The behavior on a 10R80 transmission is not necessarily mechanical and cooling related. It's like a programming language, right? You need to understand there's logic, and then there's a logic tree that this thing, works off of, right? If 50% pedal is applied, then released, and turbine speed is that, and temperature is this, then do this. So, 6R80. Let's say the logic tree is like go into second at 20, go into third at 60, lock up the clutch at 70, wide open throttle, and then go into fourth at this OSS. And the trans just goes, but now you got to contend with 4 more gears. So now the logic tree is just that much more complicated. So it's like if, then this. So let's say you go wide open throttle, then you let off, and then you get back on it. The 10R80 goes, it's like, I don't know what you want me to do. So to me, the trans cooling isn't going to fix its behavior. It's the inherent ghost behind the machine that dictates its behavior. By keeping it cooler, you'll lengthen the life out of everything. But the behavior specifically, It's in the ghost behind the machine. It's in the programming. Valve body shit. Yeah, those Fox body guys think the 10R is the next coming of sliced bread. Just shake my head at them. They're even using the D to launch in. The D to launch in. The D to launch in. I wish the 6R gave you more control with wheel spin situations. Yeah, you let off. Why does the 3-liter Bronco Raptor cost more than an F-150 Raptor? That's more capable. No, come on. Look at it. Don't both 6R 10R adapt to driving habits? Is it disabled with a tune? No, I think you have to go in there with Forescan or whatever the fuck the equivalent is for 10R80 stuff. I think adaptive is not that big of a deal on 6R80 stuff. 10R80, yeah, if you shut up, if you let it learn, then shut it off after it's learned, before it learns bad habits, I think you'll have a more predictable driving habits, but I can't tell you that. Seen them all the time, Miami Beach. Raptors all over the place. Rather buy a Raptor R used for that price. That look like a Raptor, but don't understand the Rocky Ridge or Black Widow package trucks. They all look hideous. There's a Black Widow package? Bronco. What's Black Widow about it? Bronco. Black. Is it Black Diamond? Black Widow edition? Oh my God. You guys are buying Black Widow edition things? Oh my God, you guys are the gayest motherfuckers I've ever seen in my life. You are buying this? I guarantee there's a couple of you fucking homos that go, that thing's badass. And I'm like, you have no dick. I guarantee you have negative penis. This screams, I need attention because I don't have a personality. What the fuck is this? I guarantee there's 10 of you on the chat. They're like, man, that shit's badass. Bro, Alex, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, bro. I'd love to go to Miami Beach in that fucking thing. Bro, this thing is whack as fuck. Holy shit, that's gay. Yeah, cool. Go ahead and buy it. I don't care. Go ahead and buy it. Be a fucking homo. I don't. $84,000. $84,000 to look like a guy that has no dick, right? It's almost as bad as Hennessy Velociraptors. Like, tell me, not only you don't have a dick, you have no taste. Like, money does not buy you taste. Money buys you gaudy, weird shit. There's a Jeep rolling around here. What are they called? The big stupid things. It has 6 wheels. It's a 6x6. And it's like orange. It is like the most, it is so cringy. The Commander, something? Yes. Oh my fucking, oh God. I found it. Guys, I found it. Holy shit. What a, oh my God. Images. 6-wheel drive. Six wheel. You know how many of these I see in Florida? Images. Bro, a Gladiator. Yo. Could you imagine you're picking up a classy chick in this thing? She goes, no, really, what car do you have? And you're like, well, this is it. No, seriously, what are we going in? We're going to dinner in this, honey. Apocalypse? Hellfire? What is happening? I guarantee there's 3 guys on the chat. Dude, that's so fucking badass. Dude, that's so fucking badass. Hey, honey, we're going to go to dinner. We're not taking the piece of shit, are we? What do you mean? The orange thing in the front that can get stuck like in a slight slant. Apocalypse 6x. What's so apocalypse about it? Let me see the motor. Let me see the motor. Yeah. Yeah. Introducing the Apocalypse package. Oh, really? What's it have? It's got a 3-liter V6 diesel. What's Apocalypse about that? If it had like a tank engine, if it had a tank engine and there was a zombie apocalypse, I'd be, all right, cool, Apocalypse. But that is the Apocalypse. Money don't buy taste. Look up the Mega Rex. Mega Raptors. Talk about gay. Dude, does it at least have a Hellcat in it? No, it's a diesel V6. I love you guys. Yo, that's so badass. It's so, I see them all the time. And you know, there is a self-awareness missing from people that drive those things, because they're in the driver's seat. And they're like, 6 of them. Yeah. And then they put on their glasses. Where the fuck are my glasses? I don't think I have my glasses anywhere. Where the fuck? And it usually is a guy that does look like. Here it is. Every guy that drives one of those looks like this. Yeah, I got it. There we go. In Florida, every one of those guys looks. Well, this thing shrink? Oh, my head got bigger. Well, my head always. There we go. Every guy that drives one of those things, they're like, and they're usually playing Kid Rock. Wait, hold on. What year is it? You're playing Kid Rock. Where is it? I downloads. I got Parker singing Kid Rock. Let me see. 11 Labs. Come on, hurry up. Kid Josh. Here you go. This is every 6x6 owner.
When the back of the nerves and you gave no soul.
6 of them!
This is all the questions that go at it. Answers to them exact classes and the time for dancing. And pretend to freak. Cars fans are speakless. And the G's on the 40s and the chicks were big. Have an northern license. And the southern.
Shut the fuck up. Every asshole. Every asshole. That drives one of those things. Stupid. They're playing Kid Rock. They're playing Kid Rock. Yo, it's not. It's 2026, bro. Shut the fuck up. I know. I'm crazy. 6 of them. With a cooler full of White Claws and a wake boat behind the truck matching colors. You don't like lifted Jeeps and Broncos? How, dude? Because I'm a straight male. I should have those when they roll up with Mexicans just trying to get work at Home Depot. You just described the entire South Florida dude who's in debt. Exactly. I don't even buy that car in GTA. Right? Yo, could you imagine me rolling up to Rocco's Tacos with a fucking 6x6 Gladiator? Whatever that is. My name is tapping on the steering wheel. The White Oakleys, hat backwards, doors off, sleeveless cut off shirt, and foot dangling off the door. Cringe. Donnie, you know that guy exists. I've seen that truck. There's a green army themed one. There's an orange one that has like rhino liner for paint, and a gloss black one here in West Palm, South Florida, Palm Beach County. And then they'll go to Miami to like Brickell. And Brickell isn't a place where you can like drive normal. It's a tight street, tight area. They'll just drive down that bit, down the center of that bitch, pumping Kid Rock. Or Limp Bizkit or some shit. A Black Bobby reference. I should have, got those. But it makes more with less input RPM. Fuck, man. Shit. He said it makes more with more input RPM. Oh, with less input RPM. Why Kid Rock? Nickelback was booked up. I just started making songs the other day with the guys. Let me see, downloads rolling. Roland Nardi. I might get copyrighted, but I did Nardi's voice and Limp Bizkit.
All right,
Roland
partner. Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is.
Oh fuck! Let's get that Jeep going. Let's get that Jeep.
Such a good song, dude. Got a Jeep, oh, you're in, baby, damn. I'm moving up all bodies, my back is dark. I can only but you gonna don't die. Why is it enough for each eyes? I'm never is there. Your back is only but you gonna don't now. Moaning, all ain't moaning. Now by now we all be loving music like it is.
That whole part is gonna get copyrighted, but I don't give a fuck. I might just leave it in there because those guys in the Jeeps are bumping that shit, and they're about that life. They're about that life. They'll play Limp Bizkit. They're usually 50-year-old dudes that listen to Limp Bizkit, Korn, Kid Rock, and all that shit. Nardi's voice is undefeated when it comes to this shit. I have so much fun making those songs because you have to clone the voice, you have to download the instrumental, you have to download the vocals, then you have to match them up in the software. Craig Walls is like, fuck, I love Limp Bizkit. Shit. I might have to completely get rid of that whole section. So if you enjoyed it live, congrats, because I guarantee it's going to get copyrighted, but I might be able to download it and maybe upload it to Patreon. You know, let's do that. I can download it after they do the copyright claim, because I'm sure they will. And then I'll edit it out and I'll put that up on Patreon so you guys can have access to that. So that'll be the extra $15. Never saw one in the wild. You got to understand. I just had to pull over. I'm laughing. Nardi's voice when it comes to singing anything, it is great. So yeah, like that's the vehicle that people like lust after. But again, those aren't the vehicles that make people money, similar to Mustang. Love making albums, right? I'm telling you, when it comes to like car sales, what you see is not what makes the people money. Like when you see these 10 or 80 Mustangs all over your feed, understand this, guys. Do a little social project, and I did this the other day. Anyone that posted, remember on Facebook or Instagram or one of those, there was a trend where you made your profile picture a Chat GPT depiction of who you are, like a cartoon depiction of who you are. I'm really happy that people that did that, I unfriended every single one of you fucking weirdos. If you used Chat GPT to make your profile picture a cartoon, I unfriended you because you're stupid and I don't want you in my life. I don't want people that follow trends in my life. And you know what happened? My whole algorithm changed. Like, I don't see the posts that I normally would see with Mustang stuff and stupid stuff. I see like stuff that, normally I wouldn't. Like it's just sending me somewhere because I think the algorithm is trying to figure out, what does this guy want? He just unfriended 100 people that did something I thought he would do. Change his profile pictures to something car related to a cartoon Chat GPT version of it. And I just unfriended everybody and it just got rid of it. So then all of a sudden I started seeing that's what the real world is seeing. If you're stuck in one frame of mind with with groupthink, you're going to think that's what the world thinks. And I'm just like, no, I think this is stupid. The moment I did that, I started seeing completely different things in my algorithm. And I was like, that is legit. That was great. And I think you should do that. You should step outside of what the algorithm is feeding you. And you'll realize that what you think is popular, what you think is popping, like 10 or 80 stupidity, is not even a thing on other people's algorithms that don't even follow. You have to purposely follow that shit. Same people put black squares. Yeah, I unfollowed some guy who started the AI brain rot posts. Same. Or the women that AI themselves to look like young models. Yep. Anyone that moves to make their... If you're going to do the thing that is popular, I don't want you on my personal. And again, you could do what you want. You have agency. You can do whatever the fuck you want. I just don't want you in my timeline. Or in my friends list, or 1 degree separated from you. Just normal shit. Love it. Yeah, Sebastian, you got to understand these people, not that I'm cooler than anyone else. It's just like, you know what? I don't need you around. I don't need you. I don't need sheep. I like independent thinkers. I like guys that are like, yeah, I don't want to do what everyone else is doing. And you should see some of their posts. Yeah, I guess everyone else is doing it, so I thought I'd jump in on the trend. How about we start a trend where people jump off bridges? That's an old, like, Spanish thing. He did it, so I did it. Oh, so that guy jumped off a bridge. Are you next? Let's start that trend. Still can't say it on a Gen 2S 550 or a GT 350. That's a tough one. We can get into that, but we have to give something away to the people because the people are here providing, views and super chats and stuff. So I appreciate that. So I'm going to do some Star Trek trivia. Let me do a little thinking so I can reference something that's straightforward and simple. I also have to make sure that I hit live on the chat, not top. so that people, sorry, my voice is going away because I just yelled and started, laughing my ass off at stupid stuff. So we're going to do Star Trek trivia. The Next Generation, always the Next Generation, the only one that matters. Everything else is absolute garbage. And we can do an easy one. Let me see. Did that. Okay. What? Okay, so this one is going to be so easy, okay? But I'm going to make sure I have everything in the screen. It's live chat. I'm going to make display capture. Here we go. Okay. What country was Captain Picard from? What country was Captain Picard from? And you're going to get something for richprint.com/YDBT. What country, excuse me, was Captain Picard from? And you will win something from richprints.com/YDBT. Wow, this thing's way retarded, huh? Look at that. I got to hit live on that shit. There you go. Boom, 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 boom. What country was Captain Picard from? Bam! Oh, girl, I'm going to get your address. So you're going to be in trouble. You know what I mean? Blink 182 fangirl. There's going to be a problem. I'm going to get your address because I got to send you something. So you might want to send it to a P.O. box because maybe you don't want this stud sending you something. So we're going to have to talk. You're going to have to email me. So you better not have a man. So Blink 182 girl said France. So she probably has a boyfriend because why would she watch this show? So get your boyfriend something from richprints.com/YDBT. But you have to email me, ydbt4life@gmail.com. Blink 182 fangirl, France. Good job. You're not a member, but you should be. Who else was second place here? We had Cornfed Cow said France. Playboy said France. Midnight said France. Six Hills and Tristan said France. 2000 MCR. Cobra 460 Rigo and Rigo again with lore. So Cobra, what is it? Blink 182 fangirl, hit me up at ydbt4life@gmail.com. Get me your address, your measurements, height, weight, your chest, waist, and chest, waist, and butt size, and get something. Congratulations, seriously, congratulations. She said France, so now we're going to see if I become a creeper or not by getting her address. Now I'll just send you whatever you want, and we'll go from there. Good stuff. Star Trek was gay then and gay now. Yeah, okay, fuck you. Fuck you if you think Star Trek The Next Generation was gay. Then what do you like to watch? Tell me what's your favorite show, Boomhauer. Yeah, ASL, exactly. Exactly. How old are you? You want some of this, bitch, huh? Get flued in on Spirit? LaBar, Lord, Blink 182 fangirl. Who is you? See what I mean? Blink is going to end up on TDC. Nah. Who said Africa, man? Well, technically, depending on what part of Africa, what are you going to do? Bonus question, how did Picard's brother die? That is great. Not that syndrome that he suffered from, did he? The erratic syndrome. Well, the syndrome that Picard suffered from. Picard syndrome. Erratic? Irumodic. IRUMODIC. I don't think it was Irumodic syndrome. Maybe it was. Your measurements, I'm fucking crying. Hey, she wants a sweater. She probably got a man. What girl watches this show? Unless they're like in love with the kid. Look, you can't. Look, I'm a single guy. I'm gonna always shoot my fucking shot. Bumbleswipes France, right? House fire. House fire. Holy shit! I didn't know that he died in a house fire. That, you know what? That is very good. I would have never guessed that at all. But I know that he had issues with his dad. Picard did, because in the finale, the trilogy finale called All Good Things. I'm telling you guys, if you followed Star Trek The Next Generation and you watched the finale called All Good Things, it was perfectly written. Perfectly written. The only other episode the only other episode, and again, you call me gay or whatever, it touched me. the only other episode on Star Trek that touched me was The Inner Light. If you watch The Inner Light, Star Trek, and the finale of that series, All Good Things. I mean, the writing, the effects, the storyline, like, phew. And that's my problem. My problem is I'm used to extremely well written shows and movies. And now Picard was from France. Check out the French battle rifles. Dropped twice, never fired. Nice. When I see a movie now, you know the ending before it's gonna be. You're like, it's, you know, you're kind of ruined because modern movies generally suck. Again, if you get into Star Trek: The Next Generation after season 3, you're not gonna regret it. Show me on the bear where it touched you. Alex, don't know what he's talking about. He got beamed up and was turned inside out. No. I assume every lady in here is a bot, unless it's Ashley. That's the homie. Yeah, I haven't seen her in forever. I have not seen her in forever. Ashley, she was up in Tampa. Excuse me, living on a boat or something. Casey, Casey was a girl, but she catfished the shit out of us. Guys, there is no bigger catfish on the planet than Casey. Whatever her name, 426 or whatever the hell, 526. Deal, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Look, if she wants to email the kid, ydbtforlife@gmail.com, get something sent to her, and she want to be like, hey, you available? Get flued in. Fuck it. Where did it touch you, Alex? Yeah, you know this is a safe place. Yeah, I mean, you guys have never watched a movie that you're like, damn. Like, if you've ever watched, who here watched the Robert De Niro and, I forget the comedian's name, movie called Awakenings? KC 526. Yeah, bro. KC 520. What a absolute catfish. If you've ever watched Awakenings with Robert De Niro and you're not feeling some type of way, something's wrong with you. You're like not alive. Gen 2 Coyote or GT350. Okay. So that's a pretty good comparison because we're at that point where premium Gen 2 S550s are sort of in the same league as 350s, not necessarily pedigree, but performance and what you can do with it. The GT350, especially the Gen 1 Voodoo, didn't love much above 800 horsepower. And it had oil consumption issues. The filter would like unscrew itself. Vibration. The 3160 would vibrate. Sorry, the bell housing would crack at the mounting bolts. You know, it was one of those cars that was cool when it was wide open throttle, but like it wasn't a good daily. It wasn't a good thing to like longevity wasn't a thing. So if you're considering a Gen 2 S550 versus a 350, you need to really outline what you want to do with that car. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want to do with that car? And then we can go from there. Alex, you like Tarantino movies? Absolutely. Inglourious Basterds was wonderful. Pulp Fiction was excellent. I didn't like Django. Stupid. Just done with that shit. But Inglourious Basterds was fucking great. And Pulp Fiction, one of my favorite movies ever. Coyote Austin. I'm sorry. I need some water, but fuck it. You know what? Why do people... Oh, my breath is going to stink. There we go. I'm not going to mark that. I just needed something because I didn't want to get up and get something. Alex, no homo, but that vid of you pushing the car in and out of the garage, your calves look like they got their own gym membership. I have very, very well-developed calves. Legs, too. Since I've started this new diet, everything is showing up. And I'm like, okay, I'm pretty jacked. Donnie said a joke when we were putting in his blower, and it was funny, but he wasn't wrong. I catch myself picking the plot of movies apart when they aren't what they used to be. Bad graphics, JLT intake, Cook's long tube headers, Cook's X pipe, ported AT manifold, factory fuel pumps, NU52s, NGK iridium, and spark plugs. My car's running like shit. What do you want me to do? Like, what do you want me to do? Did you say touched you? Yeah. I've seen Awakenings. You're not wrong. Thank you. If you saw Awakenings and you didn't feel some type of way when he reverted back to being a vegetable after going on the date with the girl, I'm sorry. You got no fucking heart. You got no fucking heart. Sebastian Delgado says, Alex, for what 350s are going for nowadays, don't you think they're great deals? For the price of the new S650s, I think there's no debate. No, see, this is the problem, right? Let's talk about longevity. What are you going to have less problems with in the long run? Are you thinking of keeping that car long term? Are you thinking of keeping a GT350 long term? To me, the GT350 is an absolute toy. Meaning you leave it in the garage and you turn it on Saturday morning or Sunday morning to go to Cars and Coffee or to go for a cruise. And then an occasional pull on the highway, put it back in the garage and don't drive it for 5 days. The GT, you can drive every single fucking day boosted. You can flog it a decent amount and it's not going to complain all that much. The GT350, because of its 3160 transmission, because of its flat plate crank and that thing vibrates at idle. Like, Jake's wife has a 96 Cobra with a Voodoo in it. When he had solid motor mounts on it, you can actually feel how bad those motors vibrate. There's a lot of dampening happening with Ford stuff to not feel the vibration. And even with all that effort to keep the vibration to a minimum, you feel it through the GT350. So, all that to say, what do you want to do? How long are you going to keep it? 350s are wonderful cars. They perform great. But are you going to keep it for more than 3 or 4 years? Okay, then you're going to probably have to get a new transmission because it's going to crack the bell housing. Trust me, the bolts where the bell housing mounts on the motor will crack because you're zinging 8,200 RPMs, the clutch isn't great, and then when you have to do the clutch job, that starts bringing on other issues. You start feeling more harmonics come through the car. Honestly, if I were you, depending on what you want to do, the GT is the move. But I'm never going to downplay the 350, how special it is. But it is a toy that you can't drive all the time. Fury was a good movie when I came across. Tell him to clean the MAF and filter. Dog rescue videos get to me. Screw you guys. If you laugh, know that certain videos get to you. Misha just did a lap with a Gen 2 PP manual, and it probably was awesome, right? Let me see what Misha was doing over there at YouTube. Hey, how you doing? This MT82, so tight gear ratio, MT82, right? Let's see what he said about it.
That we're doing almost 250. Ooh, the front end completely lifting. So
hell yeah. Oh, he's being slowed down by a GT3.
Manual Mustang.
Hell yeah! Look at this, man. This is right up my alley, and I hope he doesn't copyright my shit. He hasn't before. He's been really good.
Gloves and a full race suit.
Okay, let's just see the car. Less of you, more of the car. Less of you. There we go. This is, in my opinion, what everybody should buy if you want to get into performance. These are affordable. These are less than $25,000. These are Gen 2 solid motors. MT82, meh, but 6R80 versions of this? Badass.
This Mustang, yeah, NTF.
What a beautiful car. Black, nice wing, lowered, got the Michelins on the shit. Okay, let's see what he thinks about the car.
and tow as well. What is to me?
Remember, the MT82 of those years had a really tight gear ratio. Look at what I'm watching over here. Look at what I'm watching. I'm such a pig.
Of reverse driver safety or something. Full race suit, underwear. Oh, someone's here.
Yeah, someone's here.
Full race suit, underwear, shoes, gloves. But
I just want to hear the gear ratio split. You know what I mean?
no helmet.
Oh, that GT3 passed you. You better get after it. Oh, you're not catching that. That's like a badass one, right?
Yeah, it's been quite a long day.
Look at the hood. This is such a Gen 2 thing. Look at the fucking hood float.
So it's nice to do a little TF lap at the end. I also need to remind myself I'm not driving a GT3 anymore, but a street Mustang, and also need to heel and tow as well. What is that? What?
Can you stop fucking complaining and drive the fucking car? Jesus, what a whiner. Just drive it, bitch.
A fire extinguisher flying around.
Ah, shut up. Drive it.
And we're past T13 already. Alright, so public service announcement.
Oh my god.
Motion. Suspension is a bit
Shut
on
up.
the soft side. Don't have the same amount of grip as a GT3, of course, but or as a next gen cop that I was driving now, just the qualifying. The weight is also a bit on the higher side.
Good. A tight geared MT82 performance package Gen 2 is like $23,000.
Understeer, because yeah.
Hell yeah, I love that fucking thing screaming through that piece of shit.
Brakes are okay so far, so that's good.
Dude, I love it. Look, a lot of people are going to poo-poo because they want the latest and greatest. They jock at 650. I'm telling you, for my money, give me that fucking Gen 2. Give me that Gen 2. Give me that fucking Gen 2 for $23,000. Black, lowered, put a Steeda, the whole Q, whatever the fuck package. You know, some MagnaFlow Street Series, good tire, Brembos with better brake pads. Bro, you're fucking chilling. I'm blown away that people are just... I'm actually happy. People are just overlooking this car. And I'm like, this thing is an underrated car that can be bought today and be performing as good as the brand new shit. Not even close. Alex says, drive the fucking car. I'm telling you, drive the fucking car. A 373 gear ratio Gen 2 MT82 car is so fun as long as the MT82 lasts. I wouldn't fuck with the Stage 3 anything. I like the stock gear ratios, Barton Hybrid 3 shifter, Eibach Pro kit, some Steeda components, stop the hop kit, maybe an aluminum drive shaft or carbon fiber drive shaft, headers, 18 manifold, PMAS cold air, E85 and LU47s. Bro, you don't got to do shit for a long time. You don't got to be the fastest. That is such an enjoyable road race deal. Drive it every day. It's Gen 2. It's rock solid. It's super vetted. No DI bullshit. I'm telling you that, in my opinion, Gen 2 is king. And you're never going to convince me any different. Wait till Bucephalus hits the track. 17 Gen 2 Premium, still one of my favorites. Absolutely. Can we check out Car Gurus? We can. Check Car Gurus. Fuck it. We got 8 minutes left. For Gen 2 Mustangs, 15 to 17 Gen 2 Mustang manuals. Let's trim it out like that car. Performance package, Gen 2, 15 to 17 manuals. Make and model. Let's go. Ford. Let's do it live. What are we doing? A better way to search. Oh, what the fuck's happening? Let's do it all together. Excuse me. Ford. Can you stop asking me to sign fucking in? Dipshit. What? Ford? Make and model. Ford. Okay. What? You know, fuck you. Fuck you. Buy used cars. Oh my God. I'm gonna die. Oh my God. Ford. My God. Alex. Mustang. Okay. Sure. Okay. We're gonna be looking years 15 to 17, 2015 to 2017. We're going to be looking at under 25. Exterior trim, performance package. EcoBoost, GT, premium, fastback, say premium V8, GT coupe rear-wheel drive, deconvertible. It doesn't say performance package. GT premium coupe. Let's just do this. Let's just do transmission manual. We're going to do engine. Fuck you. Engine, 8-cylinder. V8, okay. So manual, 8-cylinder, Gen 2 Mustangs. Let's go. Okay. 27, 18, 19. Look at that. That's high miles. You don't buy anything in fucking Miami. You need to understand, south of Boca, you don't buy anything. Anything at all. I'm trying to get something that's not all, jacked up. 16, it's kind of high. 44,000 miles. I could have sworn you couldn't got a Car Guru is a little expensive. Okay, manual. $23,000, $18,000, the $18,000, 159,000 miles. You're never going to see a Gen 3 with miles like that. Gen 3s explode. So you're looking, this is kind of high. This is kind of high in my opinion. I'm not a big fan of car gurus unless for whatever reason, the prices of these cars went up because people found out how awesome they are. But in my opinion, they're a little overpriced on car gurus. I think I can get a performance package Gen 2 manual with under 60,000 miles for 25 and under. And you get base PP card to keep it on the lighter side if you're racing it right, Quentin Bailey. If you're racing it, you get the base, you put the suspension part yourself because you're going to change shit anyway. So get the base, not the PP, and you can get the brakes and all that stuff later on. If you're going to road race the fucking thing or drag race the fucking thing, you get the base. But if you want something factory with just good brakes, good wheels, tires, lowered, get a performance package Gen 2. If you want to get into a fun car performance package Gen 2 with NA, it's going to be so much fun, reliable. You ain't going to break nothing. And your boost and fuel away from competing against the fastest current shit out there. Because Gen 2s, in my opinion, are severely underrated because people just fell in love with the 10-speed. And they just forgot about the 6-speed, forgot about the Gen 2. No DI issues, no weirdness, no camera version issues, no phaser issues. No issues on Gen 2. Yeah, there's definitely better deals out there, Alex. Yeah, it didn't look like it was a deal anywhere. You just described my previous Gen 2 minus minor differences. Definitely fun. That's the way to... The best daily combo, a pump gas tune or a E85 tune. You get a McLeod RST clutch because the clutch is what's going to lock you out of the next shift. The stock clutch is the issue, not the line, not the shifter. It is the clutch. Get an RST clutch. You get a QA1 a carbon fiber drive shaft in the bitch. Ibach Pro kit, Align It, Steeda Stop the Hop kit, and Cook's ARH Ultimate header or Stainless Works headers, free flowing exhaust with MagnaFlow Street Series. I'm telling you, I promise you, that is going to be a car that's going to be like, it does it all. You could cruise, you can chill. It looks great. Because it looks like a GT500. The stupid Ford made the GT500 2020 and up look like a Gen 2. So they extended the life of the styling of that car. So dude, the Gen 2 configured, like I said, is going to last you a long ass fucking time. And if you're bored one day, throw a Paxton on it, throw a turbo kit on it, or throw a, heaven forbid, a Whipple or a Magnuson TVS on it. Boost, fuel. You make 800, 850, 900. No fucking problem. MT82 is going to explode. So I'm telling you, so much fun. Now I'm talking myself into wanting one, but I have to understand I have enough vehicles. But I'm telling you, my next car, if I'm going to get something newer, it's going to be a Gen 2. And I'm going to stick there until Ford offers me something better. And so far, they haven't. Alex, there's Ford dealerships selling Whipple F350s. Oh, my Lord. Oh, you're telling me that there are Godzilla F350s out there that are Whipple charged? Alex, what do you think of a good price for a boosted 17 S550 Lund 15,000 miles on the 85 Ford Innovation? Pretty much the stuff you mentioned in this channel to get 820 performance package. That car you can get 15,000 miles. Bro, you can probably get 35 to 40 if it's boosted. If it's boosted, 820 horsepower, you can probably get close to 40 for it. Close to that little mile, 17, the last year of Gen 2. That's, you can probably get close to 40 if it's boosted. Alex, you just convinced me to never get rid of my Gen 2. Never get rid of your Gen 2, papa. That is the last badass fucking GT that can perform with the latest and greatest shit. You and I both know a tight geared MT82 with 331s and like 850 horse is tough to beat. Real tough to beat for the price. Can you smash in a GT? No. Okay, if your girlfriend's like 5'3" and 100 pounds and very flexible, yes. If she's a torta, you better get a crew cab. You got to get Donnie's truck to fuck a torta. It's a problem. Interesting thing I found out, you can bolt S150 4 and 6 piston Brembos onto an S197. The bolt position is the same. You just Amory work tonight, drop in a like, catch a replay, and the AM, join that Patreon. Seriously, guys, if you really want to help me out, Patreon is now pacing to earn the same as YouTube with only 300 subs. So if I have 890 total, if I end up getting 200 more paid, bro, again, it's all about, I'm stupid. I spend it all on the channel. I'm stupid. I could just bank it, but I'm just like, buy another car because I want to get you guys content, but obviously I'm limited because I have to wait to earn the look. You guys were able to allow me to Coyote swap out ZR1. Like, that is psychotic money going down the drain. But actually, it wasn't super expensive because most of the work was done on my end, and the vetting, it just had to go out for the turbo kit and a couple other things. But I think we can get it going. But Alex, my dad died. Can I have a Gen 2? Damn, Gen 2 is King Daddy. 17 GTCS would look good in the garage. Yes, a California special. Look, Pablo's car. Pablo, he's on the channel. He's a member. He showed up. He had a red California special 6R80 twin turbo car. Drove it from Jacksonville. We put the illuminator in his trunk and he drove it back to Jacksonville on the 85. It's an 8-second car with a stock motor. I'm like, what a car. Like, the car I've described, he built. Stock motor, stock diff, stock trans, 8-second on 3 twin turbo that I tuned with FIC 1440s. He goes, yeah, it's been 8s. Stock motor, yep. Stock trans, yep. I'm like, I don't got to prove it. Pablo proved it. Pablo proved it. Fucking fuel system E85 on 3. Drove it on California special wheels with Michelin's from Jacksonville. Put a motor in his trunk. Drove it back. That guy proved that the Gen 2 is just the most badass fucking car out there. If you know what you're doing and you're not susceptible to like getting co-opted into the latest and greatest bullshit, just change your algorithm. Your opinion will change. I guarantee it. Alex, show my car in the channel. I got a really good vid walking around. You won't be disappointed. Well, let me know. Send me an email. We'll see what the deal is. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me today. We talked about the C10s racing with one with an LT, the other one with a Coyote. We talked about Ford losing $11 billion or something like that last quarter. We talked about potentially firing askholes if they're going against your recommendations, if it's just better to just let them go, let them pay tuition somewhere else and figure out life. Eventually, they'll end up coming around with on their hands and knees going, sorry, fucked up. I won't do it again. And sometimes you just have to say no to be like, I'm good. So hopefully Blink182 Fangirl hits me up at ydbt4live@gmail.com and give me the measurements and her address so I can get her something from Rich Prince. And then we'll let you guys, hopefully they don't copyright this shit and I can just play the video. But if they do copyright it, what I'll do is I'll take that segment, download it, put it on Patreon, and then upload it the edited version so that I can get paid. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys on